Well, good morning. And thanks again, Glenn and Wade, for hosting this event. I think, again, it's so important for us to define your market clearly and identify your niche. And I think these webinars have been really well received in the past. And as Glenn and I were just discussing, I'm going to be sending out a survey to ask about timing, because we think things are starting to get back to normal a little bit more, and perhaps lunchtime doesn't suit people for a webinar. We might need to slip to 5:30, but I will send out a survey to see what is the most preferred time. So on behalf of Kiama Council and the Chamber, I'd like to welcome you here and introduce Glenn, who'll take it from here.
Megan, thanks very much. Big shout out to Kiama Council, the Kiama Chamber of Commerce as well, for putting these webinars on. Wade is here with me as well, here in the Resolve Coaching Office. And today, welcome everyone, we're talking about defining your target market and offer. This is really the first step when it comes to designing a marketing campaign, when it comes to doing advertising. We really want to find out who's our target market and what is a compelling offer we can offer our target market to match. So let's dive in, let's get started here. All right, who am I? You guys probably know by now. Glenn Haworth of Haworth Guitars. I have a retail business, we run some music schools, and we are doing business coaching here in Kiama as part of Resolve Business Coaching. And today, we're going to talk about leaning into your niche and why it's important to focus on your niche. We're going to talk about why defining your target market is important and how to define your target market. We're going to talk about something called avatars within our target market and how to describe that. And I'm not talking about the James Cameron movie. I'm talking about more of a marketing term when I talk about avatars, even though that was a great movie. We all loved it. Defining your compelling offer and communicating your compelling offer to your target market as well. So lots of stuff to cover today. Really excited to rip in. I think there's going to be a lot of value here for you guys. So let's talk about leaning into your niche. So why would we niche? Why is it important to niche in our business? Well, by niching, by focusing on our strengths, by focusing on one certain area within a larger market, by niching that down into more of a niche market, we can avoid being everything to everyone. And I've got there that do what you do best and forget the rest, because if you can go deep into your niche, you can help to attract those raving fan customers. If you have a very strong niche brand, if you have a very strong focus on a niche within your business, then whoever resonates with that is going to resonate very strongly and will often become a raving fan, because you really speak their language. But if you try and be everything to everyone, it becomes very difficult to attract someone who is going to be to end up being a raving fan customer, or someone who is going to really resonate with you. So that's why it's important to niche. It's also important because you can get a better return on your marketing dollars by focusing on one certain niche rather than trying to do brand awareness and try and market to everyone. And this is ultimately going to help you when it comes to defining your target market. If we can work out what your strengths are, what you can niche into in your business, then we can focus on who we're actually going to target as customers. I want to give you guys a quick example of Haworth's music. As we transitioned into Haworth Guitars, we started as a mum and dad music store. We've always sold guitars, but we've also sold drums, keyboards, harmonicas, amplifiers, any musical instrument you can basically think of. But it wasn't until we niched into guitars, I decided, you know what? All of our content needs to be around guitars, because this is our bread and butter. This is what we are an expert in. Let's focus on just guitar content. So all of our Instagram posts now, all of our Facebook posts are just centered around guitars and beautiful guitars. And when we did that, our followers grew, our audience grew. We started to attract more raving fan customers, and our business grew as well. This was really a great example of how we were able to niche our business and just focus on guitars, what we did best. So I want to give you guys some more examples too in a second. So what is a niche? A niche market is a subset of a larger market with its own particular needs or preferences, which may be different from the larger market. It's really a smaller market that you're going for rather than the larger market of your industry. So how are we going to define our niche? Well, how do we do this? we start to ask ourselves the questions: what am I good at? What are my strengths? What do my customers love about me? What's the feedback you get from your customers that they love about you and your business? And what do I do better than anyone else? What do I do better than my competitors? Where are my strengths in my business? To start to get a bit of an idea of what we can niche into. I want to give you guys some examples of some businesses now that are really niche brands. Starbucks, we all know them as the coffee company, right? They've niched into coffee and they do such a great job at it that they have now over 29,000 locations worldwide. Amazon, which we all know as, you know, selling basically everything under the sun, but where they started was niching into books. Jeff Bezos said, I'm going to start this company and just niche into books because they've got their advantages. They're very easy to post. There's so many different types of books, and they niched into books, and that's how he was able to really grow a strong brand by just niching into books. Zappos is another one there that when they first started, they actually sold to Amazon a few years back for $900 million. But they sell, you know, all sorts of different clothing now. But when they first started, they just niched in shoes and just doing online shoes. So a couple of examples there of some niche brands and some success stories of some of these companies that just decided to focus on their niche and do very well out of it. So leading into your niche, with a clear picture of our niche, we can now start to define our target market. So this is why it's important to start thinking about: where are your strengths in your business? What do you do better than your competitors? What do your customers love about you? What do you do best? And if you can lean into your niche in your business, then we can start to get an idea of who your target market is, who we're actually going to be going after. So I want to talk about now your target market. So why is it important to define your target market? It's really important because it helps us to avoid random acts of marketing. You know, random acts of marketing is like, well, I think I'll run this campaign today. I think I'll do this ad. And it takes down the need to market to everyone, try and be everything to everyone. And it helps us just focus on one market, on one demographic. We can save a lot of advertising dollars that way, get a much better return on investment with our advertising if we can focus on the one market. And it helps us to get specific on who our customers actually are. And this is really the step that we need to go through when it comes to designing a compelling offer in our business. So if we can get really clear on who our target market is and understand our avatars and their pain points, then we can design a compelling offer which is going to meet their needs and help solve those pain points, help solve that problem for them. And if we do that right, then there's no need for hard selling, right? You don't have to convince me to buy something if it meets my needs and if it solves my problems, right? If I have a problem, if I have pain points that I'm trying to get solved, and you have a solution, you don't have to do any hard selling, right? If we get that right, there's no need for hard selling, which makes it nice and easy. The customer will just feel compelled to purchase. So I want to dive into our target market and talk about these things called avatars. So what are avatars? An avatar is an embodiment of a person in your target market. It's like picturing a specific customer within your target market. Who are they? Male, female, what's their age demographic? What are their likes? What are their dislikes? And what are their pain points? And we're going to dive into that now. So each avatar represents a typical customer in your target market, and you can have multiple avatars in your target market, right? So you might have a target market and you might have a few different avatars within that target market, which cover a few different demographics. I'll give an example here, a barber shop, right? I'm going to get real specific here on an avatar for a barber shop as an example. John, I've given him a name. John is a single 30-year-old male. Looking good is important to John, which is reflected in his skin fade hairstyle and flowing manicured beard. John visits the barbershop every 2 weeks for both hair and beard maintenance. He works full-time in sales where first impressions count. John gets frustrated when he doesn't get the same consistency when he visits the barbershop. I've got a specific, age demographic. I've got his likes, I've got his dislikes, I've got what frustrates him, so we can start to understand this customer and help in the next stages provide a compelling offer for this target market. Another one here, in a guitar store example, this is actually, his name's not Peter, but this is actually one of our customers, our best customers is this person to a T, right? And I've just called him Peter for this example, right? So Peter is a married 62-year-old male who loves collecting guitars. He has worked hard his entire life and enjoys treating himself to a high-end guitar every 2 to 4 weeks. He's a great customer, right? Everyone wants a customer like this guy. He loves visiting his local guitar store to check out what's new and will often walk away with a new guitar every time he visits. Peter gets frustrated if he does not receive a high level of after-sales service. He needs to keep his new guitars playing well after he purchases them. So there's a couple of his pain points. We understand that he doesn't, he needs that after-sales service. He needs his guitars to keep playing well after he purchases them. So he is a great example of an avatar in our guitar store. And for our music school, here's another example. Susan is a 36-year-old mum to Josh and Jessica, who are both in primary school. She has always wanted her kids to learn to play a musical instrument because she missed out on the opportunity when she was their age. She has heard about the many benefits of learning a musical instrument, so she's enrolled her kids at the local music school. But she gets frustrated when her kids' lessons get moved around, which causes issues with their busy afternoon schedules, and does not know the first thing about musical instruments. So there's a couple of her pain points, right? She doesn't really know that much about musical instruments, but she wants her kids to learn music, and she needs a scheduled time. She needs to decide on her own scheduled time and have the school stick to that scheduled time. There's 3 examples of just a few avatars in these different businesses. So what do your avatars look like? Begin to describe them. Start to picture your ideal customer or client. Who are your ideal customers? Who's your perfect customers? Those ones that you just love dealing with in your business, and start to describe them as your avatar. So write down and describe them in detail. And you want to include their age, male or female, what they like, and what they don't like specifically. So get specific on their pain points and what's their core problem. And here's a tip, they could already be one of your best customers. As in that guitar store example, I actually used one of our best customers is that avatar. So he's perfect for our target market. And what if I don't have any customers yet? If you're a new business or if you're just starting a business, picture who your ideal customer could be. Who is going to be the person who's actually going to buy this product or service? And it may help to look at your competitors and their avatars. But the key here is, look, don't try to make it perfect. Just get something down on paper and make a start on describing your avatars in your business. Now with our avatars, an idea of who our avatars are, then we can start to design a compelling offer for our avatars. So what is a compelling offer? Well, a compelling offer is an offer your customers can't refuse, obviously, right? And it ideally solves their core problem. So as we talked about, with a few of our key customers, we can highlight what their pain points are, what's the core problem they need solved, and now we can start to decide, okay, what offer do we need to present them, which is going to compel them to take action and help solve that core problem that they're looking for a solution for. So why do you need a compelling offer? Well, we want to encourage our audience to take some sort of action, right? We want to remove the need for hard selling, as I talked about earlier, and we want to minimize those wasted advertising dollars on offers that miss the mark. And we want to maximize our sales revenue. So if we can get this offer right to meet the needs of our target market, of our avatars in our target market, we're going to increase sales as well. So here's some examples. Okay, so here's an example of Susan in the music school. Remember, she had the 2 kids. She's looking to get the music lessons, but she doesn't know much about musical instruments, and she needs a schedule that's going to stay the same day, same afternoon, every single week. So our offer in the music school is that when you sign up for a term's worth of lessons, you get a free guitar, right? And our staff will help match you with the guitar, the right size, the right guitar that suits your needs, and we'll give it to you for free when you book in a term's worth of lessons. That is going to hit that pain point of not knowing much about a musical instrument and causing the pain of, oh, I want to get my kids music lessons, but I don't know what sort of guitar they need. It takes that pain point away and says, don't worry about it. We'll match you up with the right guitar, match your kids up with the right size guitar that suits their needs, and we'll give it to you for free. So all you need to do is pay for a term's worth of lessons. You get the guitar for free. Pretty easy, right? That's a compelling offer. That's a no-brainer, as I like to say. And you get to choose your own available time slot as well. So you can pick from the list of times that are available, pick a time that suits your busy schedule. We all know that parents are busy these days. Kids' afternoons fill up really quick with sports and other activities. You can pick a time slot that works best for you, and we will stick to that. So that is a compelling offer that we use in the music school. We offer a free guitar, and we let you pick your own time slot as well. So that's an example of a compelling offer which addresses that avatar's pain points. Let's go to another one. In the guitar store, Peter, remember Peter, his pain points were that he needs that after sales service and he wants his guitar to keep playing nice after, keep playing well after he's bought that guitar, because he's buying these high-end guitars. He wants to be able to keep playing them and have them still play well and deal with rusty strings. He doesn't want to have to deal with that. He wants new strings on his guitar. He wants it playing nice after he's purchased it and get that after sales service. So here's an offer that we present to Peter. With all of our guitar sales, we'll set up the guitar exactly how you like it, right? Before you walk away with it. Plus you get 12 months worth of free services with your new guitar, which is going to help your guitar keep playing well. Bring it in a couple of times within the 12 months, get a service done on it, right? We'll cover that for you so it keeps the guitar playing nice. And you get a minimum 12 months warranty on your new guitar as well. So there you go. So that's a compelling offer that deals with that pain point, right? Of not, getting that after sales service, not having his guitar set up for him, not having them play nice after he's purchased them. That's a compelling offer for him. Let's look at the barbershop example. Just another example here. This is just a hypothetical, but remember that John, here he is, he's this 30-year-old guy. He gets frustrated when he doesn't get a consistently good job. Well, here's a guarantee that the barbershop can offer. They guarantee consistently great haircuts and beard trims, or you get your money back. That is a compelling offer for John to know that, okay, I'm going to get a consistently good job every time. Or if I'm not happy, you get your money back. So another example of a compelling offer there. So how can you define your compelling offer in your business? Well, as we talked about, your offer needs to be compelling, but it also needs to be simple. There needs to be value there, and it needs to be solution orientated. So how can you solve your avatar's problems by providing the solution, right? So make it a no-brainer offer. Make it something that is just going to compel them to take action. Make it simple, right? If you confuse them, you lose them. So just make it simple, make it easy to attain. And there has to be enough value there for your customers to be able to convert and take action. So, and as we talked about, it'd be great if it can solve that core problem. That's going to make it even more compelling for them if it can solve that core problem they're experiencing. So we talked about your niche and where your strengths are. We talked about defining, who your avatars are within your target market and understanding them, understanding their pain points and their frustrations, and then now designing an offer which is going to compel them to take action and help solve those pain points that they have. So question for you guys is, what simple, compelling, and solution-orientated offer can you provide for your avatars? What is an offer that you can design for your avatars which is going to help meet their needs and compel them to take action and help solve their problems? So now we've talked about that, I want to go into communicating your offer. So once we design a compelling offer, and you've probably got a few ideas now running through your mind, and it helps to write those down as we go. But once you've got an offer in mind, how do we get that out to our audience, right? I want to talk about that, and this is where Wade's going to be really handy for this part of the webinar too. I want to talk about first where the low-hanging fruit is in your business. And it's really important, I think, to focus on this area first before you go out there and try and find new customers. I want to look at these couple of areas first in your business, which are already people who have dealt with you before. So let's start with your unconverted leads. These are people who have been in touch with your business before, who have contacted you, who have connected with you, who have inquired about your products or services, but for some reason they didn't proceed with the purchase. This is a key area to focus on, to connect with, to check in with them, ask them, are you still considering this? And communicate your new offer to them. So look, these are people who have already built up maybe some level of trust with you. They've built up, some sort of relationship with you already. Before we go out there and we try and find new people for your business, which can be expensive, right? Bringing in new customers, reach out to the people who have already contacted you and who have already established some sort of relationship with you before. Even though they haven't proceeded with their purchase, reach out to them first. This really helps if you have a database of unconverted leads or potential customers that you can draw on. So your unconverted leads, past customers, so people who have purchased from you before, but maybe you haven't seen them in a while, maybe they haven't returned for whatever reason. reaching out to them. And this is also great if you've got them in your customer database, but check in with them and communicate your new offer to them, right? Communicate your offer if you have a new offer that you've designed through working on your avatars, pain points and everything else. Communicate this offer to your past customers. Ideally, you've got a customer database set up, or maybe you're a bit more old school and you've got a list of these people in your notepad or whatever, but connect with your past customers, communicate your new offer, ask if there's anything else they need. And your current customers. So the third group I want to talk about is your current customers. Look, Wade and I talked about this with one of our clients this morning. Your current customers are the most likely to come and do more business with you, right? You've already got that trust. They're already sold on you as a business they love dealing with. So it's communicating your new offer to them and giving them first opportunity to take advantage of this new offer as well. So connect with your current customers. Once again, great if you've got them on a customer database you can connect with, but you may want to reach out to them as well. If you don't have them on a database, reaching out to them through your past sales or however you keep a record of your customers, reaching out to them and communicating your new offer to them as well, and asking if there's anything else they need. Then marketing your new offer. Once we've dealt with the low-hanging fruit in your business, your unconverted leads, past customers and current customers, then we can look at marketing your offer and getting it out there to the wider audience and your target market specifically. So social media, look, just to touch on a couple of brief ways to do this. We've already done a few different webinars. One was a great one on supercharging your Instagram. We did another one on marketing on Facebook, and a couple of different other ways to get your message out there, to get your offer out there. But let's just touch on a couple real quick. So social media is a great organic way to get your offer out there to your target market, communicating consistently. You want to be posting daily, mentioning your offer as well. Social media for us, look, we don't tend to do hard selling on social media because we love providing value and just valuable content up front. But every now and then it's okay to mention your offer and to present your offer to your audience as well. Every now and then, as long as you're not, doing it every single time, every now and then mention your offer to your audience. So social media is a great way to do that and provide a call to action on the next step there. Facebook ads, this is really Wade's specialty, is creating Facebook ad campaigns where you can actually target your target audience on Facebook, target that specific demographic. You could potentially, Wade's a specialist at this, make a video for your audience. Anyone who watches that video, you can then pull them into an audience and market your offer to them, which is a really great way to create a compelling offer for them, because you'll often get a really good return on investment, because that's an audience who have already interested in your business. They've watched the video, they're interested in what you're offering. Then you can hit them with the compelling offer to purchase. And you can also do methods like the Facebook Pixel as well. So I'm just going to join Wade here for a second when he can bring his 2 cents worth in this area as well.
Thanks, Glenn. I'll just jump in on the Facebook ads thing. So this is where, if you watch one of our previous webinars called Marketing on Facebook, which is available through the council website and through the Resolve Coaching website, we go into a bit of detail about what's actually possible when it comes to targeting and remarketing. So this is where, if you can define your avatar well, this is where the real strength is going to come in with Facebook, actually being able to drill in and actually target these people with contextual specific content for them. It's this is the fastest way to reach who you want to reach with your content. The organic stuff is good, but it will take time. But if you really want to get in front of the right people and give them the right message, using Facebook ads, which also then utilizes Instagram as one of the distribution platforms, this is going to be the absolute fastest way to get your message in front of the right people.
That's it. And as Wade mentioned, we do have those other webinars available. Kaima Council's got them. We've also got them on the Resolve Coaching website, resolvecoaching.com.au, which we'll share with you later too, where you can jump on and see more of an in-depth video on the Facebook ads. But we've also got one on Instagram there too. The local media can be a great way. If you've got an exciting offer, to reach out to the local media, do a press release, do a media release, and let them know about your offer. Let them know, what's changed in your business, what you're offering now, and often the local media love supporting local businesses, and they may do an article for you in the newspaper, or something on the radio or TV. So depending on the level of offer that you're offering. So lean on your community and get them involved. Okay, so right, I know we've dumped a lot of information on you guys today, but let's sum up and start from the start. So we talked about your niche. We talked about why it's important to niche in your business and define an area that you're good at, that your customers love about you, that's a strength for you. We talked about the examples of a few of those businesses. Amazon in the early days focusing on books. Zappos in the early days focusing on online, shoe sales. Starbucks obviously focusing on coffee. I gave the example of a business that I own, Haworth Music, transitioning more into Haworth Guitars and going from a music store and really niching down into guitars, because that's our strength, that's our bread and butter. We've established ourselves as the guitar experts now. So where can you niche in your business? Where are your strengths? Where can you focus on in your business? And from that, we can really start to decide, where's your target market? Who's your target market? And chunk them down into key avatars in your target market. So get specific on describing their age demographic. How old are they? Male, female? What do they like and what do they dislike? What are their problems they're looking to get solved? And then you can start to design a compelling offer for that avatar, for that target market. So you can start to design your compelling offer. How is it going to solve their problem? How's it going to make them, want to take action? How's it going to be just a no-brainer for them to just take action on that offer? And then we talked about communicating that offer to where the low-hanging fruit is in your business. And the low-hanging fruit in your business is really the unconverted leads who have already contacted you and been in touch with you before, but for some reason they didn't purchase. Your past customers, people who have purchased from you, but for some reason they haven't come back for some time. So reconnecting with them and offering them, the new offer that you have. And your current customers, people who are already dealing with you, right? Some of them are your biggest fans. So giving them an opportunity to take advantage of your compelling offer first is very important. So that's really the three areas where the low-hanging fruit is in your business. But then we also talked about now marketing your offer and getting it out there to your target market. And a couple of areas that we love using here: social media, big fans of Instagram, Facebook. If you're a B2B business, you want to be on LinkedIn, but also Facebook ads, and leading on the local media too, just as a couple of examples there. So that's summing up the webinar today. If you do have any questions, just reach out. My email is Glenn with 2 N's @resolvecoaching.com.au. Send an email. Happy to answer any questions that you've got. You can get in touch with us on Facebook, facebook.com/resolvebusinesscoaching, or follow me on Instagram, Glenn Haworth _coach. And happy to answer any questions that you have from today. But look, the biggest thing I often say at the end of these webinars is to just take action. Take some sort of action. Write down, a couple of areas in your niche that you can be, focus on. Write down your avatars and your target market. Start to compile your compelling offer, and then work out how to get that compelling offer out to the market. Wade, you going to jump in for a second?
Yeah, I'll just jump in and say that absolutely taking action is a really, really big one in this. And I think what you'll be really surprised with is actually writing down who your avatar is going to really give you a good insight into your business. A lot of people that we find have never actually gone through this exercise and haven't actually figured out who their customer is, and they're quite surprised who it turns out that their avatars actually are. And just by knowing that, it's going to help craft your messaging across everything. Who you thought your customer was and who they really are could be different. And knowing who they are is just going to help immediately with the messaging that you put across, whether it be an email or social media, or even how you even talk to people in meetings and stuff too. It's a really powerful thing knowing who your customers are.
That's it. Well, thanks for the input, Wade. Like we said, get in touch with us if you've got any more questions. We're going to send it back to Megan there. Megan, thanks for having us on the webinar. And I really hope you guys got some great value out of today. Very important step when it comes to designing your marketing campaign is deciding on who your target market is and coming up with a compelling offer, and then getting that out there to your audience.
Actually, I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
With regard to your avatar client, Do you ever do any surveys with your clients after purchase, after sales, on your getting feedback in that regard?
Yeah, I think that's a really valuable thing to do. I should do it more, to be honest. But I have, particularly our best customers, the ones who have brought us the most business, who are our biggest fans. I want to find out more about why they love dealing with us, and that's really helped us to decide where our strengths are and what we need to focus on the most. And a lot of the times, when I've asked these best customers, by the way, it's also good to get feedback of people who haven't returned as well and figure out why not. But our best customers will often say they love dealing with us because when they walk in, we know their name. We provide such a high level of customer service. We're not focused on trying to get their money. We want to help them find that perfect instrument for them. And so we understand them. We understand their needs. We know a bit about them personally, the type of instruments they like. So I definitely have done that before where, you can ask your top customers what you love about us, what you love dealing with, about us. And then you can get an idea on where you need to focus more and where your strengths really lie.
And in that, what type of database do you have that collects all that information?
Look, we have a customer database where we basically have all of our customers on there, and we can section that off into guitarists, and music school clients and that sort of thing. Wade just wants to jump in here for a second.
Yeah, this is where you get the CRMs, the customer relationship managers, involved too. So quite often they can be attached to like the email distribution software and that too. But there are things like Salesforce and that, where this is where, especially if you've got like a larger sales force working for you, that people can leave notes and leave information in there on a person's file or a customer's file, and you can figure out what went right, what went wrong, sort of going back through the trail of notes there as well. So there's plenty of good customer relationship managers out there. It's, as with everything though, it's only as good as the information you put in. So if you've got like multiple salespeople all inputting or having touch points with these customers, you really need people spending the time actually inputting the data that goes with it. It's like if you've got a support call, logging that information in there as well. And that's where the power comes from, people actually using it properly.
Yeah, because I guess also that the information and the analytics that you get behind your Facebook or Instagram that indicates who's actually looking at your page and the types of things would provide some information on, again, your perfect client and what they're looking at.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm very much like, I love numbers and stuff, but I'm really like a touch and feel sort of a guy too. So I kind of get a good sense, like a good feel for, we've been in business so long, like we kind of know already without having to look at too much data, who our customers are just by talking to them and looking up, we print out our best customer reports, and then we can find out who's actually up there, in terms of dollar value, but also who are the regulars. And over time, like I think you do get a good sense of who your best customers are and what your strengths are, but it just pays to have those conversations sometimes with those key customers and just asking them to, what do you love about us? Why do you keep coming back? What are some of our key strengths? And then you can really focus on those.
Yeah. What about geography? I know with our Wi-Fi stats in the town centres, we always ask for the postcode because, for us also, that whole target marketing, knowing where our customers are coming from, is critically important. Do you ask for that sort of those details? Yeah,
we normally get the customer's address when they purchase something from us. So we get those sort of details. That was probably more powerful for us when we were doing more like catalog drops and things like that. We don't do as much of that these days. Knowing like what area our customers are coming from and that sort of thing, so we can focus more on that area with letterbox drops and things like that. That was quite important. But yeah, our system records that, and I think that's definitely an important thing to know as well, like where your customers are coming from, so you can get a feel for geographically where they're coming from too. And there's a lot of businesses out there who are doing really well with direct mail now because everyone's email box is so full now. People get excited when they receive something in the mail now, so a lot of businesses doing well out of that too.
Yep. Totally depends on your business type, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, great. Look, that's all fantastic information and just reinforces the importance of especially that database management and collecting that sort of information so you can reconnect at a later date. But that sort of leads us on to our webinar next week is about search engine optimization.
Yes.
And I mean, we've been asked for that before, so hopefully that event will be really well supported. But also tonight, the Chamber are actually hosting a Q&A with Gareth Ward. So there's a Zoom link. I sent out an email last night, but there's a Zoom link available for to log on to actually hear about factors affecting business and actually to provide Gareth with feedback on what's affecting small businesses in this particular region as well. So that should be a really important webinar to take part in as well. So, look, without further ado, Glenn, thanks so much. You and Wade are always a fountain of information. But hopefully we will see you all next week. There's another webinar on Monday on financial resilience. And of course, Wednesday, the SEO and SEM, which will be really interesting. So thanks again, and we look forward to seeing you then.
Thanks, Megan. A big shout out to Kyma Council, Kyma Business Chamber again. But yeah, next Wednesday, guys, it's going to be really, really valuable. Wade and I are actually bringing in the guy who manages my SEO and SEM at Haworth Guitars. Super whiz on the SEO. Wade and I, we realized that we aren't the experts in that area, so we've actually gone and got an expert to join us for that. We know a lot of the high level stuff.